Here to encourage, offer small business insight, and connect you to your maker community. Whether you're working in your studio space or out sharing your story at a farmer's market, welcome. We are John and Sarah Collins, and this is the Modern Forestry Podcast. Hey, this is Sarah Collins from the Modern Forestry Podcast. I am here with Charllotte Evans today. So excited. I'm taking a little break from Candle Studio. We are going to talk about her story, how she started, super encouraging, and then over the next few days, we're going to be talking about wholesale. How do you get into that market? And she's in quite a few stores, so she has some good advice to share. And then I'm really excited about what do you do when your vision for your small business is maybe needing a change or it's no longer meeting the needs of your family. How do you identify what matters and go from there? So Charlotte, welcome.
Thanks.
I'm so excited. So I actually first saw your stuff at TR Makers, and I was there, and I think Shauna had at the same time kind of seen your stuff, and we do a candle subscription box every month, and so every month a maker joins our box, whether it's we had a chocolate maker a few months ago with a bar of chocolate. We've had organic dog treats, super cool stuff. Well, we actually had one of your note cards, which are gorgeous, with a map of the U.S., watercolor with all of the state flowers. I need a stack of them. So beautiful. So I'm filming these and packing them, and I'm going, these are just gorgeous. So I would love to hear, how did you get started? Was there an art background, or what led you to this?
So no art background. So I did ultrasound for 12 years. And when I moved here and Andrew and I got married and I became just a mom, I had all this free time to just do all the things, which is silly because 5 kids at home, or 6 kids actually, is not a lot of free time.
Yeah, you
and
have so much
car
free
lines
time.
and all that. Yeah. So I started just projects around the house, all the things, and then I found skillpop. Did you ever hear of skillpop? Okay.
Yeah.
So I did cookie decorating. I did several one-night classes, and there was a watercolor house portrait class. And so I did that, loved it. My goal with that was, Andrew does mortgages, so I wanted to be a part of his business. I wanted to feel like I was contributing to our family.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, so if I can get good at this and I can do these houses and then give them as closing gifts, then I would be a part of his business and whatever. So I did that for a while, and then word of mouth, started doing houses for people. And Andrew saw my frustration with, there's not a lot of room for error with watercolors, traditional watercolors. So, I would send an image of a house to someone, and they would say, oh wait, could you put a porch swing, or could you put this 1957 Chevy truck in the carport that wasn't on the picture? And so one house I redid 5 times, and he's like, enough. So he bought me an iPad for Christmas.
Okay.
And so then I started doing the houses with that, and I was like, I want to do something that I can print over and over. I wanted to be able to do something that wasn't specific to one person. I loved the being creative, and I loved that I had something that seemed like I was good at. And so South Carolina people, I think, are very proud of their state. And so I thought, okay, so I'm going to start with South Carolina. And I love flowers. I love being outside. I love color. So, I thought, all right, so let's do let's do native flowers and the state fruit and the state flower in the South Carolina design. So that's where I started. And then I just did other random states and was just doing it more as gifts. And I thought, okay, so this is kind of fun. So I started selling them on Etsy, and
it's the gateway drug to small business there is Etsy.
Oh. And let's see. So so Andrew gave me the iPad in the end of 2019. It was just Christmas. And so then for 6 months, I just made different designs because I did the TR Mary Market.
Yes.
And so my goal was just to have a good selection of these state designs. So I started with prints, like 5x7 prints, and then I did some note cards and stickers.
I have one of your stickers on my phone. It is the state of South Carolina full of flowers.
Yes, and I've since, that was a newer design, but I've redone South Carolina 3 times. So, I always think there's room for improvement, so I redo things a million times, and then, anyway, I have to have a project. I always have to have a project, so I feel like I redo things unnecessarily a lot. But
what I love about your story is that and there's no right way to do it, but we have small business owners that say, I want to work for myself. What can I do? And they really sit down and figure it out. And then we have other small business owners that they kind of fell into it. And that's kind of where John and I were. We're like, no business background. There is no degree for candle making. Like, we're pursuing what we enjoyed, giving them as gifts. And then, God just really took it from there. So you took the watercolor class early 2019?
It was in the summer.
Okay, that's correct. I mean, so really not very long ago. And then kind of started from there. At what point so I guess you launched your Etsy shop. Was that during the pandemic?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so much time to practice. Like, what are we going to do? I think I and everybody else started baking bread. I was like, I have time now. Yeah, okay, so then you started, so there was a shift then where it was, this is for fun, I'm enjoying it, it's a great hobby, I'm a part of what my husband is doing. Was Etsy kind of the shift where it was, okay, I'm actually going to make profit off of this, I'm going to put them on Etsy?
Right, so I kind of stopped doing the houses for Andrew. I mean, he thought it was amazing.
I was going to say, it is such a cool idea. We do candles for a lot of realtors as thank yous, but I'm thinking, man, a watercolor portrait of your house, like, how beautiful is that? Especially going into that early months and first year of small business. So it was a hobby, which is awesome. Like, there is no right way to small business, and some people are out the gate right away. This is what we're doing. It is going to support our family.
Right.
We have more of a similar story. It was super fun, which we've done business consultations over the years, John and I. The businesses that have stood the test of time and made it kind of to that 4 and 5 year mark have started for fun. Started where they weren't dependent on that income. And so there was a little bit of, I'm going to take some bigger risks. I'm going to do some more creative things. We're doing this because it's fun. For us, it was date night money. We were like, sweet. We're newlyweds and, eating spaghetti every night. But so were you working on this mostly at night, or how did you balance that with kids the first few months, the first year? And I guess it is different because 2020 was happening and everyone was home.
So I'm trying to remember. So kids were still in school, I think. Was 2020 really when it happened?
March.
Okay, so I would work on it in the day, but mostly it was in the evenings. Like after dinner, I would pull out my iPad and work on stuff. It seems like forever ago, but it would just be a random thing. But, at some point it's like it would consume me more than others, but.
Yeah. Well, and the iPad is so nice because it's like, well, where's my studio? Oh, it's in my lab. It's right here.
In Carline,
so
or
we're driving to the beach. Let me work for a while.
Yeah.
Like, the technology that's available to small business now is just crazy. Do you have any advice for people wanting to start a small business that maybe don't know where to start or feel like they're not qualified?
Okay, well, I'm definitely not qualified, and I do feel like a fake a lot of times, like, oh, wait,
And yet, one of the things that I appreciate about you is you're so authentic about your process. You are. No, I mean, like, you're just like, I'm here. I'm figuring it out as I go. There isn't a guide to doing this. No,
I asked a lot of questions from friends that have small businesses, and I know they probably were like, ugh, see my name on their phone. They're like, cringe, or
I don't know. We were just talking to TR Farmers Market about this a few episodes back, and so we can be in the candle studio working being creative, you're always trying to solve a problem or a process or something, like the creativity just doesn't seem to turn off ever.
Right.
Whether you're small business as an electrician or small business as a potter, but we'll be there, and that creativity just drains. But if we can get with other creatives, and P.S., I've never viewed myself as a creative person, ever. Like, but small business, you just learn that muscle and it grows. But when we're in the room with other creatives, and especially when they're asking questions and we're learning, it's empowering. And I think that that's one of the secrets to small business is find your community, whether that's at the farmer's market or wherever.
It was so encouraging. I saw your map of the United States.
Yeah.
Your shop, Delaney and I came at Christmas, and I saw bits that had been colored in, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. Just to see how you grow, you know, like, oh, wait, somebody else who has a very successful business has a printed map of the United States with highlighter, you know, colored in.
This is us.
And I was like, oh,
and sticky notes.
yeah. I was like, oh, wait, okay, maybe there is hope for me. But, so one thing I was trying to think the other night, like one thing I'm really glad I did starting out was I created a separate bank account just for my business. Andrew's huge into budgets. I think we have, 12 different checking accounts for our different budgets. And so he encouraged me from the beginning, like, set this aside so then you can see quickly, easily, like what's actually going on, and then it's not,
Yeah, I think the tendency when you are on the small business side of this is just fun and hobby, and it's not even a small business, it's just there,
right,
is to just kind of incorporate it into daily life, and it can make the accounting really messy, but it's also
really
hard.
Messy.
Progress isn't always measured by bank account, but it can be, and it's a good indicator. And so just to see that, and then also to see, okay, this is what's been coming out of it.
So I don't remember I think someone messaged me on Etsy and said you offered wholesale pricing. I think that's kind of how I thought, oh, wait, is that okay?
Yeah, totally. I'm like, yes, I can't wait.
Okay, wait.
We are going to break there. We are going to come back and talk all about wholesale. I'm super excited, y'all. I feel like wholesale is kind of this, for small business and the maker side of it, not the service, but the maker side of it, wholesale just feels like this magical, elusive unicorn. Like, how do you get there? And so we're going to talk to Charlotte on the next episode about that. Super excited. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, head over to Instagram, follow us at Modern Forestry. You can see all of our studio behind the scenes, crazy stuff that John is doing. Our kids are on there. I love them. I miss them when they're over at Grandma's for the morning. But yeah, we are really excited to have you guys a part of that behind the scenes. Our sales are there, and you can kind of keep up with what we're doing. See you guys later.